another. What you cooking, man?
What is good, fellas? It's Tuesday morning. Good to be with you guys, Iron Minds. Ooh, look at that. Pedro's wearing the shirt. Oh, man, he's muted, but he looks good. Look at this guy. Look at this guy walking out there in Texas. Look at that shirt.
I'll be right back.
Thankful to our friends over at Chain for making that happen. What's good, everybody? How's everybody doing this morning?
What is the good word? Good morning. Good morning. It's a good morning to have a good morning, Iron Minds.
Michael Lombard, the silhouette in the vehicle on his way to bring the heat this morning. Tell everybody what you're doing today, dude.
Yeah, I'm bringing some fire this morning. I got, I work at Truck Parking Club, and we are we're members with the Texas Trucking Association. Reason being because I'm here in Central Texas, and so they have chapter meetings spread out in East Texas. Up in Tyler, Texas, they have a chapter meeting today, and they're actually having a panel where they're going to be talking about mental health related stuff. And they needed another speaker and they actually have an entire block for me. I thought I was going to be on a panel, but I'm actually going to be giving a presentation about driver health, and a similar presentation I gave at Broker Carrier Summit. So I've got a nice role. I'm ready to bring some fire this morning. It's as if anybody who was in Kansas City last year knows, it's motivational / educational. I'm going to get into the data points and everything, but also talk about the why. I provide my testimony on it, what I did, but then also why the change really needs to come from the top down when it comes to driver health and how important it is. And I know that this is. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get out there and meet some new people, especially in a part of, I haven't been to Tyler since I've been driving. And so it's great to be able to get Truck Parking Club and myself in front of these people to let them know that I exist and let them know the possibilities that, career choices don't determine their health. And we've got to do some necessary things in order to not only just live our best lives, but, show up for the people around us.
Nice. Love that, dude. Love it. That's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Bring the fire, bring the heat. Are you going to be talking at all about what we're finding out here during Safety Week about some of the compliance issues that we see out on the road? Man, some scary numbers out there. Our friend Adam Wingfield bringing the data on Twitter, X recently. Man, pretty wild stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell you, some of that stuff he's been talking about is wild to really think about. I mean, I saw his Facebook post yesterday, just talking about how many trucks pass through Chattanooga regularly, and just how, like, essentially you have hundreds of vehicles a day where the data shows that, there's hundreds of vehicles with drivers that don't even have a CDL.
That's crazy.
Just based off the data, which is a pretty wild thing to think about. And again, I just firmly believe my philosophy. When you base things around this foundation of everything that I'm going to talk about today, and kind of everything we talk about with health and fitness, when everything's based off of that solid foundation of living to your fullest potential, living healthy lifestyles like this, that stuff, like the shady stuff, the kind of going between the lines, operating that way, you kind of take that stuff off the table, because when you hold yourself to a higher standard when it comes to your health and fitness, when you start raising your standard, you want what's around, you want the standards around you to be raised. And again, I think there's correlation within all that. I know Adam agrees, but yeah, it's some pretty damning information.
Yeah, it's not good at all. So I'm glad you're going to be bringing the heat today in terms of driver health and those types of things. Pretty wild stuff, though, to believe. Dude, these people don't know what they're in for this morning. They don't know. They've never seen Lombard in person. We were just talking about that. Everything you do, man, it's like Mr. Hype Man. And
Oh yeah, they
no
thought it's just another Tuesday. It's not just another Tuesday. They're hopefully hopefully I can rattle some cages a little bit, get some, really plant some seeds into some people. And again, it's all about changing lives. Like I'm trying to lead by example, and the example has been set for me by other people, such as yourself and Nick and you, Pedro. Like that's the example I need to keep setting, and hopefully some people can walk away with it, and they can transfer it down to, their drivers and everybody they work with, and they talk about it, and the word and the mission keeps spreading.
Love that. Nick, what are you up to, my friend? Good to see you. Where are you today?
Right now, we are walking backwards on the treadmill at a 10% incline, working those hamstrings. Kind of wishing I had brought the fan out here before I got started.
Is it warm in Florida this morning?
I'll be honest, this morning I just got back from my run. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad being like 82 degrees at 5 o'clock in the morning, but now that I broke the seal, I'm running hot, so.
Yeah. I hear you, dude. I hear, man. I hear. Well, things are crazy here in St. Louis. We got the Midwest. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but St. Louis got hit by a tornado.
Yeah, I saw that.
Last week. We had another. So last night, we went to bed, and then an hour into being in bed, the sirens went off again. So we had to get up, go down to the basement, sit down there for an hour, and then came back up. So we've had some typical Midwest spring weather, but this year it seems like it's been a little bit more heavy on the tornadoes here in St. Louis. Normally we don't get the tornadoes here in St. Louis. A lot of times they happen south of us. For some reason this year, man, they've been hitting us hard. So really, really sad. And the thing that's really sad about it is that there was I still can't believe this. There was a human error in turning on the sirens in St. Louis City last Wednesday when the tornado came through, and people didn't know. So people were out. People were out in cars. They were out walking. They were, they weren't prepared at all in terms of where they were in their homes. And we had 5 people that were died, 30 some that were injured, like $1 billion in damage. 4,200 buildings were damaged. It was just a really bad situation. And I'm still thinking to myself, how do we have humans pushing buttons for tornadoes? Like, shouldn't that be automated at this point? Shouldn't they be able to, so it was really, really sad and pretty scary. But the sirens went off last night. We went downstairs for an hour and then got back up. So running on a little less energy than normal. What's up, Jessica? Jessica always has energy. She's always doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Hope everything is well. Just trying to get the blood flowing this morning. Trying to get things going, get my shoulder back intact. I got to tell you, boys, the shoulder is doing well. Man, we are seeing a lot of new range of motion, which is great. I'm doing push-ups now. I'm doing half pull-ups now, and kind of getting back into it. And so really, really excited about that, which is great. So, and thanks to our friends over at Chain for these wonderful shirts. Look at this. Nice little shirt. Pedro's got his on today, looking good.
You can't tell, but mine's in that basket right there.
It's there somewhere, but not right there. So, it's good. All right, fellas, listen, hey, 2 weeks, well, basically today and next Tuesday, and then we're basically in a summer break. My kids have their last day of school this week on Friday. We got our summer trip planned. A lot of things happening up. Summer's here. Man, it's crazy. It's already here. And this is a summer. I'm telling you, if there's ever a summer to get out and get back into the groove of doing something, getting moving, whatever it is, man, this is the summer to do it. This is the only summer we got. And I'm excited about that. What do you guys got planned for this summer in terms of movement, motion? What are you guys going to be doing?
Running in the sweat, man.
Yep.
We're training for the 70.3 this September. And I've got a Spartan trifecta up in July in Utah. So I'm going to go climb a mountain.
Oh, nice. Wait, hold up. When and where in July?
July 12th, I think the date is, in Ogden or Snow Basin.
Just going to miss you. We're going to be in Zion and Arches in early July, like early July.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, my wife is from Ogden, so we're going to go do that race, stay with her friend, chill by the lake out there for a couple days before we come back home. But here's a fun fact about Florida most people don't know. Most of the summer, you can't go swimming. Not the whole state, but in the Gulf, because the Gulf is just bathwater. And these jerk-offs down south let all this runoff and pollution into the ocean, and all the bacteria just chills up in the Gulf. Right now, there's a bacteria warning. You can't go swimming.
Really? Oh, dude, that sucks. It's so pretty.
You'll show up at the beach, like I will go to run in July, August in the morning, and there might be the red tide, and it just might be dead fish all up and down the shore. Like, it's disgusting.
That is really sad, man. That's awful. That is awful.
So that's what we got going on.
I'll tell you, I'm excited for summer. Number one, I am a huge fan of oppressive heat. So, I mean, the next couple of weeks. So what's crazy is, again, I mentioned this canoe thing we're doing. It's actually a little insane. And I haven't been talking about it as much because, like, we're kind of doing it half fun. But there's this race in Texas called the Texas Water Safari. And me and 3 friends are doing it. And essentially, you canoe the San Marcos River to the Guadalupe River. It's a 260-mile canoe race that goes from San Marcos to the Gulf of America, by the way. And so we're attempting this endurance canoeing thing that I showed it to a friend of mine, and I was like, "Do you want to do this next year?" He's like, "Dude, let's just do it this year." And I was like, "All right, I got to get things cleared." And so we're going to attempt this, and it's in the middle of June. So I'm pretty excited to try that. So I've been focused on just hitting some strength, and then I'll really lock in. I'm still keeping up with regular running, probably 20 plus miles a week, still hitting the pool once or twice, getting on the bike and Peloton, but really focus on some strength at On It Gym, and then taking the summer, July and August. Is like end of June, like July and August. Essentially, there's a great 10-week build. What's great about the 70.3 is I don't need 5-6 hours on the bike. But when it comes to summer, again, I reposted a reel that I had posted a couple of years ago, back in 2023, about this is something I've been telling Orange Theory members a lot. Is it is the middle of May, Memorial Day's coming. People are in the mindset now of like. You just said it before as we started, like summer's here, like summer's already here.
Yes,
like, people can't believe it. And on January 1st, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, I've been telling Orange Theory members, like during the warm up, I said, I want you to think back to January 1st. Where think back to what you were telling yourself, where you were at, and fall back on what you were telling yourself January 1st. And if you fell off between now and then, just think back to January 1st. What's great about Orange Theory is their programming. And in May, we have a 7-day kind of workout challenge called Mayhem. And then going into June, we have something called Push 30, which is something I think that we can kind of do up. So they're these little tools and challenges and to keep you accountable heading into the summer months. And again, when it comes to starting or staying locked in, again, like this idea of waiting till Monday, the diet starts Monday, all that stuff, it's all irrelevant. My transformation started in November, towards the end of the year. And I think people fall under this, like, I've been really thinking back at my transformation and how easy it is. Like, how come we have members who haven't shown up for 2 weeks? How come that's happened? And it has to do with the mind defaulting to comfort, defaulting to putting things, to deprioritizing these things that are important when it comes. And all we need to do is just boil it down to following a simple plan. Following a simple plan of, even if you don't show up to the gym, even if you don't do certain things, there's other things on a checklist you can do that are going to keep your mind from telling yourself you failed. And that's what's been happening, is people are under this impression that if they don't do one thing, that they failed. But that doesn't happen in their work life. That doesn't happen in anything else. And when it comes to showing up, you just need to keep showing up in every single way you can.
Yep, and here's something, one of the easiest things to do, and Scott did it. He signed up for the Boise and Spartan in August, doing it with his oldest son, which is pretty cool. That's exciting. That'll be good for him. Boise in August, man, that's got to be beautiful. Good night. That's awesome. But, it's like, sign up for something in your area, a 5K walk run, Like, anybody can go from basically sitting on the couch to doing a 5K within 2-3 months. So look on the calendar, find something in August, find something in September that you can aim for, and then just start moving towards that. Just show up today. We wouldn't even know if we have tomorrow. We got today. So all we got to do is just worry about today. We don't know if Monday's going to be here or not. We have today. So let's make good choices today. And then let's plan a little bit. Let's sign up for something down the road. I know you guys have races that you guys are signed up for. Scott signed up for the Boise. I love that, dude. Man, I wish I could do that. That'd be fun. I'd love to come.
I know. I'm like, how do I fly into Boise from Tampa?
How do we get to Boise in August? I mean, tell me, Boise in August, unbelievable. Like it's absolutely beautiful there. But how do we just plan for these things? Well, sign up for something. It's really simple. You can just do a quick Google search, 5K near me, and you'll come up with different websites, USA Running, different websites that can help you out. Just sign up for something, and then start working towards it.
I do want to say, this time of year in particular, you do get those ones who fail before they began, like Lombard was just talking about. Oh, I didn't do the one thing. I guess I failed. I just lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that? Summertime, train of thought. Oh, yeah. The things so many is I want to work out. I want to get in shape. I want to do this. Said while sitting on their ass. If you want to do it, you do it. If you want to do something, you actually do it. Otherwise, you're just whining about it. And the way to get started, even if we're not going to do a race, is to schedule something. Even if it's schedule my 30-minute walk. But when you put it on the calendar, when you make it important, that's when it happens.
Yeah. And it's easy too when you are in that moment where I want to do something. That's a great time just to get up and do it. Like if you can't just pause the TV, get up, go walk for 30 minutes or whatever it is you were going to do, and do that, which is great. So yeah, Scott, easiest way, just set a few goals and then tell somebody about it, like Scott just did. Scott told us about it, so now we're going to be asking, hey man, what's going on with that Spartan? How'd it go? And that we're gonna ask you about it. So you throw it out there in public to people. A little accountability never hurts anybody. So that's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, man, I'm excited to actually have some functionality in my shoulder again. I'll tell you, this has been quite a humbling time to not have my shoulder. And it's not perfect, but man, it's getting there. It's so much better. The motion's there. The pain is starting to go away with motion. Still a little pain from time to time, but nothing like it was, 2 months ago.
I've been using your shoulder. I've been using your shoulder in conversation, in talking to people about things that can sneak up on you that you don't know about, and why it's paramount to get in basic daily movement. I'm like, I know this guy. He had something called frozen shoulder. You never know when these things are going to show up.
Dude, that's the truth, man. And to think that the other option that they gave me was to put it in a sling for 9 to 12 months. That's the only other way for it to go away. It's like, nah, I can't. Who's got that kind of time? I ain't doing that. As long as I'm not damaging it or hurting it, as my PT tells me, I own my shoulder. I got to just make it do stuff.
You own it. There is, if you guys don't mind me interjecting, there was one thing I wanted to bring from the newsletter I put out last night. So if anybody doesn't know, I got a newsletter that drops every Monday. Go to newsletter.truckparkingclub.com. But I told a story in there, and it's a great way to. It's always part of a gratitude practice I have, and it has to do with two diners I've stopped at when I was driving. One of which is the Oasis Travel Plaza, and one is at the Mid-America Travel Plaza in Belle Fourche, South Dakota, which, if you didn't know, Belle Fourche is the geographical center of the U.S. with the addition of Alaska and Hawaii, which you didn't know. And so these two places, so Belle Fourche is a town off of I-90 that's very far from a lot of stuff. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It has some mining, agriculture, and livestock. And at this diner, the server I had was one of the, such a nice person, but, they were probably in high school. And when you think of that town, and I went for a run in that town, and I ran around it, they had just gotten hit with this horrible hailstorm that totally ripped through houses. All the houses had tarps on them. It was pretty wild to think. And I saw videos of that hailstorm. And when it comes to towns like that, they're far from ports, they're far from big cities, far from airports. When they go through a disaster like that, the comeback is months, possibly over a year. And when I think about the town in general, and that girl, that 18-year-old girl or whatever, when you, everybody in that town, they seem very community driven. It seems very patriotic. They're proud of what they do, but anybody who's there would leave if they could. But they can't leave, unlike east of I-35 where we're a little bit more dense. If everybody did leave and followed their dreams and stuff like that, then there'd be nobody left in that town. And there needs to be people in that town because what they mine and their agriculture and their livestock is so important. So everybody can't leave. And so I think about that girl, like, what are her hopes and dreams? What does she want? And how grateful am I? How grateful are a lot of us to have, like, when I think about my goals in triathlon and what I'm trying to do, like, how lucky I am to be able to set those goals when she probably can't, because she'd be letting so many more people down. And then the same thing with the Oasis Travel Plaza. This woman, middle of Missouri, I-44, Old Route 66. Her husband passed away unexpectedly. She works multiple shifts. She's raising 2 kids on her own. And this woman, a smile on her face the whole time, and is so grateful for America's truck drivers. She thinks that they're the greatest people ever. She's met thousands and thousands of truck drivers. And I think, like, did she think that her life was going to be what it is now when she was 17?
Yeah,
but
probably not.
And what she's able to find gratitude in. And I think for anybody listening to the show and anybody watching, I think the people of Belfort, if they really want to leave and get out, that they should seize what they want to be happy. But really, they're still finding a way to chase certain goals and dreams, or they're going to figure it out some way or another. But how lucky are we to have the opportunity to and because we can. And there are some people who literally cannot because when you're in a place like Belfort,
well, we may have lost Michael Lombard for a moment, but I think the point is well taken. We might be coming back a little bit there.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I wasn't in middle of nowhere, America, but growing up on an island, you have to take a boat. And it's not like it's easy to get a car over there. And so you were kind of geographically restricted from doing some things. It would have been a lot more challenging, for me to do a Spartan race is at least a day of travel. If I were to do an Ironman or basically anything off the island, it takes an entire day of travel, which made it financially prohibitive, time costs, etc. So I get the concept for sure. Because things are a lot easier now.
I think about those people.
Yeah. Oh. All right, gentlemen, look at this. I'm so excited about this. Able to do push-ups again.
What about you, Pedro?
What's up, brother?
What's going on in that noggin this morning?
Nothing. I guess I'll kind of start back at the beginning. I've just been listening to y'all talk, man. So, I am also in the oppressive heat. I feel like I just walked into the bathroom after my wife got done with her 5,000-degree shower. So, I just want to say that Nick, I understand your pain, man. Like, I think the humidity level is 1,000% here right now. Let's see. What I got planned for the summer, I have to find a way to up Lombard and Nick. Thinking about going and climbing K2, maybe Kilimanjaro. Thinking about doing an Ironman race in Australia. Suck it, Nick. I'm joking. I wish I had exciting plans like that for the summer, man. This week I'm getting ready. Let's see, 2 days leaving to Lars Cars and Guitars in Bristol, Tennessee. If you're going to be in the area, Tony Justice puts on a really cool truck show, and all the proceeds go to a really good cause, supporting cancer awareness. So, going to be doing that, and I guess what my summer is pretty much going to be tied into, man, is going to events and meeting people, and just trying to grow my little show here, and just connect, network, and grow the brokerage, man. That stuff that's really blowing up right now. Got a couple of new customers, so busier than a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest, But
I got a shipper I want to connect you with, by the way.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I'm down, man. Like, funny enough, Lombard, man, like these customers and everything I've got going right now are referrals, man. I've been telling you, I've been waiting a few years for my business to be the way that I really only have to prospect, maybe 50% of the time. And the rest of my stuff is just people referring business to me because we've done business together or, things like that. Because to me, I think we all agree that's the best business. You know what I mean? You ain't got to go through all that rigmarole, So, yeah, brother, I'd appreciate it.
So it's a head down, hands on deck kind of summer.
That's it, man. That is really it, dude. I am trying to maybe an unlofty goal, but man, when my book of business collapsed last year, I put it in my head and it took me, 2 years to get it to where it was, that I'm going to get it to where it was and hopefully more by the end of 2025. So I've got quite a task there, but I got to do it, man.
I want that on the record right there. Like, that is such a powerful statement. You said, when my book of business collapsed, you did everything you could to make sure that you wanted by 2025 you're going to put the hammer down. And my God, like, look at that mindset. The mindset you had when your book of business collapsed. That same mindset. That's a powerful mindset. And that's that's why we do Iron Minds, because because I feel like everybody feels that way. A lot of people sometimes, if the book of business collapse, they might audible, make a different shot. But this is the same mindset people can have if they're not on track to that New Year's resolution. If they're not on track, like if you fell off for that, you collapsed. Like, do what Pedro just said with his book of business.
One thing to add, at the end you said, and hopefully by the end of 2025, cut that shit out.
No. By the end of 25, by the end of 2025, just hopefully a little more was the added part.
Hopefully we get enough rain this summer. We don't do hope when it comes to goals.
Right. Hopefully it's outward.
It's gonna be more.
I love it. Pedro, what's cool about that too is, like, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna piggyback on what Michael said. Like, having that attitude of, like, hey, I'm gonna dig my way out of this. I'm gonna work out of this. I'm gonna make this happen. Taking that initiative to do that. That principle resonates in anything. I mean, I feel like I'm that way now with my health in terms of, like, my mobility. I've got myself into a bad spot. That is way different than business, but I think that people can look at this with their weight. They can look at this with their health. They can look at this with their business. They can look at this with their relationships. They might wake up and be in just a bad place with their spouse or with their kids or a relationship, and they can set a goal. Hey, by the end of 2025, this is going to be my reality, and start working towards that. Pedro, I'm proud of you, man. Like, you've just taken a hold of your life. You've just decided to take the wheel back and steer this thing where it needs to go, man. That's exciting, dude.
By the way, there's a big.
Good for you.
We started the conversation with Michael talking about some mental health stuff, and there's a big mental health aspect to calling that shot too, because you get out of that victim mindset pretty quick. You get out of that woe is me, everything's against me. When you're declaring that I am going to achieve X. Actually, Pedro, you might even remember I told you exactly how much money I made last year. I told you the goal that I set and how I missed it so dramatically that instead of coming back and softening it this year, I doubled it. And you know what? I'm going to hit it.
Well, hey, I'll tell you, I'll touch on what you're saying right there, Nick. It actually took me, I don't know, man, probably took me 2 months to get out of my depressive valley. Here's full disclosure. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm bipolar and I have severe manic depression. And dude, when I get depressed, like a lot of people who suffer with it, it could be a day, a week, a month, 6 months, a year, and there's no telling what's going to pull you out of it. You just got to figure your way out of that hole. And I did. I just tried to keep being positive about it, man. And honestly, having people like you four guys in my life as examples that are successful men, and doing their thing, and they hustle. And Nick, you got 1,000,001 reasons to complain at the world. I was actually just talking to my neighbor the other day. She just got diagnosed with breast cancer. She's in her first round of chemo. I gave her your book. But you don't. You crawl out. Same thing, Lombard. You got a million reasons to say why certain things didn't go the way you wanted to with trucking and all these other things we didn't. You found a new path, found a new way you're doing stuff, and so I honestly, I credited not only my own, mental strength, but being surrounded by other positive people. It's hard to be down in the dumps when every dang body around you is talking about, summiting Mount Everest every other week and running Ironmans and stuff. So, but yeah, I appreciate it, guys. But I mean, hey, you know what they say, go big or go home. And I want to end it on this. I appreciate the hype, but all of this is just because I don't want to be homeless. I just want to make that clear. Like that's the main goal here.
Hey, whatever it takes. But you know what? I think you said something really powerful there, and it's what we talked about on the show. It's why we named the show what it is. It's like you find your tribe, you find those people who are going to lift you up when you need it, and encourage you, and support you, and hold you accountable, and all those things. And that makes a big difference, man. Isolation is just death. Like, it is dangerous to be isolated. You got to be with people, even if it's virtual like this. You got to have those people who are going to help you, keep going, get going, check in on you, talk. I mean, one thing I love about this, a lot of people don't know this. One thing I love about this group is that we have a group text, and from time to time, we'll just throw in there what we're working on, what we're doing, ask each other how we're doing, and just having that little group is great. Having a Discord group, having people that you can meet up with once a week in your area, whatever it is. Having your Orange Theory group, your whatever it is. Like, that's just so critical, man. And man, I'm excited for you, Pedro. I'm really
nobody's
really
done
excited
it.
to hear that.
Nobody's done it alone. Go back 10,000 years. Nobody, if somebody branched off from the tribe, they didn't get through winters, droughts, anything. They didn't hunt alone. They never, like, there was no way, if you went off by yourself, it meant death. Like, there is no, and I get it. You have those monks and those people who live in the mountains. That's few and far between. That's a different mission.
That's but
in essence, we only survived through the same method. Nobody ever survived by going. And even if they did split, people like when you think of human migration, a group of people collectively had a different idea. Said, we're going to go our own way. Nobody ever just walked off in the wilderness, and all of a sudden this big flourishing civilization popped up.
Yep, it's so true, man. It is so true. And so, as we say here on the show, we'll close out with this as we always do: as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Find your tribe, find your group, and get moving, folks. Get out there, and summer's here. I want to hear what you guys are doing. I want to hear what you're signed up for. Scott, excited for you, man, for the Spartan race. Jessica, great to see you, and everybody else watching. Have a fabulous week this week. Boys, I didn't tell you this. Wednesday, tomorrow, I'm off to England for 5 days. Going to be doing some barbershop singing. Back on Monday, Memorial Day. So I'm actually going to get to spend Memorial Day across the pond for the first time. It'd be kind of weird. Never been over there. But you know what? There's things to be done this summer, whether that's trips, whether that's races, whether that's visiting family, building relationships, improving your life. This is the summer, dude, everybody. Can't wait to see you right back here next Tuesday. Next Tuesday is going to be rough. I'll be dealing with a little jet lag, but I won't be here. So we'll see you guys next week. And until next time, peace out, everybody. Let's go.